Usher me to the presence of the Lord. Usher me. Your woman or wife should be all the whole you need. You are a bad influence. Oh, hey, everybody. Hey, Sirwalterj, the Sirwalterj Jones Show. I'm he. It is the evening, midday connection. Hey, come on in. The tea is fine. I want to talk to you who are Christians. I'm one of them today, about some of the craziest things that y'all say and believe. You know, I'm often, I try not to laugh at you, like that movie, they're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you. Is it Carrie? Yeah, sometimes I have a Carrie moment with some of my Christian friends out there because of some of the things y'all believe. Your tradition has made the world laugh at you. They're laughing. And they can't come to you for counsel because of the things you believe and the things that you don't understand. I'm pretty good with Christian counseling. Just saying. Scott Newman, you might be, but your brothers and sisters are horrible with it. There are people who call themselves pastors and apostles and teachers who are absolutely horrible at counseling. And they proclaim to be the greatest counselors of their denomination, and their church are filled with divorcees. Blessing to you, Brother Bass. I'm praying again for your strength. Their houses of worship, is filled with sections. The mothers' boards, all their husbands are at home. They ain't saved. The missionaries is on their fourth husbands, okay? And the deacons, well, they're all alcoholics, drug or they womanizers, okay? I mean, different the musicians, I ain't even going to talk about them. But the leader of the house is proclaiming that he's the greatest counselor. I come up under that mess. I mean, wait a minute. Me and my wife are having problems. And all you doing is going in the Bible and reading stuff that we could read on our own. And you're not even properly interpreting it. So there's a slip up there. But you can't tell me anything practical. You can't tell me anything natural. Everything that you talk about is always in the spirit realm. You're high and lifted up. You're holier than thou. Are you judging people because you're stereotyping what makes you so good? Yolanda Brown, you want to go back and forth with me? We can. Am I judging people? Yes. The scriptures say that I can. I have every right. A righteous judge can judge righteously. What's your comeback? I mean, since you want to come at me, I have an open door policy here. Let's go. Let's go. Many are joke, Elder Samita says, and you know it, but afraid to have someone outdo them. So they will not send you to anyone else. Elder Smith, I'm getting ready to go there with you because you just dropped a bomb. I want to go there with you. You said something extremely interesting, and I'm going to bring my pastor in to prove what you say is correct. And where do you go to church? I have a great Christian counselor in her own practice. She's phenomenal. Yolanda, what that got to do with what I'm saying here? You ain't even heard the rest of the story yet. You've been in here for about 2 minutes and you ain't even heard what I'm getting ready to say. You just automatically did a blanket judgmental call yourself. Ain't nothing got nothing to do. This if the shoe fits, apparently I'm talking about size 13. What shoe size you wear? You just right up in there. You say you done with this one here? Well, you came in here. I didn't invite you on the show. You just came in here and just blanket this and say whatever you wanted to say. You dropped the bomb. Well, you thought you dropped the mic, and now you want to get out. Don't run now. Don't have a coward spirit now. Come back. Since you dropped the mic, I don't think you understand who I am. I'm gonna read what you have to say, and I'm gonna try to expound on your wisdom, but you can't just throw a rock and run. That's the coward spirit. That's what atheists do when I keep them against the pricks. I got them against the corner. Now they gonna call me all kind of names. Benjamin, I know. I'm sorry, but when people come in there and just blanket drops, like they just they want the whole. See, here's one thing I don't do. I don't pander to nobody, and the people who watch this show know. Sir Walter, don't pander to women, nor do I pander to men. Don't do it. I don't pander to homosexuals, nor do I pander to heterosexuals. I am well-rounded, and I tell you about my sin. It's funny. On the wall, I talked about the stuff that I did, sins that I committed, and the people are reading my transparency. And do y'all see the response? It's amazing. Y'all want the men to be transparent. Then when he's transparent, y'all kick him to the curb, or y'all damn him, or y'all call him, wait, baby, be transparent. Tell me what's on your mind. Then he finally tell you what's on his mind. He finally tell you his sin. Get out. You're a monster. You ain't know. How dare you do that in the house of God? That's why y'all make horrible counselors. So I do not pander to one group. Will never do it. I piss off the women as much as I piss off the brothers. Not gonna do it. I can't help you if I'm always kissing up to you. Jesus didn't kiss up to nobody. He told the very men who walked with him, y'all are nasty. All right, I'm not gonna kiss up to you because there's 12 of y'all and y'all taking care of the needs of them. I don't care. You're still wrong. He talked to the Pharisees the same way, called them a nation of vipers. All right, y'all are of your father, the devil. He said to these people. All right, so I ain't one of them. He pandered to folks to try to make. Trying to get 300 people to watch my shows. I could care less. Go on YouTube and you'll see how much they hate me over there. I don't care. I'm going to tell y'all the truth, though. If your breath stink, your breath stink. Don't come over here on my wall trying to say stuff and you ain't heard the whole matter. You need to read Ecclesiastes. Hey, that brother right there. I don't pander to nobody. I ain't scared of nobody either. I don't care who you are. If you come over into my area, I'm going to tell you you're wrong. All right, okay. Let me keep going down here. I feel the Baptist anointing on Angie Mims. I had to throw that cold drink spirit out. I threw that mess out. Threw it out. I believe if you are doing your job correctly as a Christian, then you will have a few gifts from God to go with your job. One being the gift of discernment. Come on, that is non-tongue talker can't have. Just as God knows us, good Christian counselors will get the help from God to help you solve your problems, because ultimately the Christian counselor should lead you to the one who could really help you. This is good. If we had the insight to help ourselves, then Jesus wouldn't have to come and provide a way for us. This is good. This Mueller, this is good. I'm liking the way you talking. Bruh Bass, I ain't scared of nobody. I don't care. I don't care. All right? I smells. How much is that dog? Y'all are the candy man. The Earl Carter spirit. Christians make horrible counselors. Now, I ain't talking about all Christians, because when I went to get counseling, I went to a Christian counselor. All right, so I'm not gonna go to the world for counseling on my issues, because I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. Why would I go to the world for counseling? Because a non-Christian counselor is only going to give you a band-aid. A non-Christian counselor is only going to give you a quick fix. He's gonna take a caulk and a gun and caulk all your holes. That's all they're gonna do. And one day the temperature is gonna rise and melt that caulk. And then, bam, you're going to have the hole back again. That's what non-Christian counselors do. He just put a little Band-Aid on it, a little super glue on it. After a while, though, depending on the temperature, all right, that glue after a while, it's over with. Christian counselor, I can't even say the word, a person who's tapped into the Lord Jesus Christ, who's tapped into the Spirit of God, will lead you in the proper direction. A pastor who talks to you and lead you to him or her is to be called a curse. I can back that up in Scripture. If a pastor, evangelist, teacher, apostle, prophet is teaching you, and you call them your leader, and they are always leading you to them, if they're saying, serve me, then they are considered an accursed. This should be abandoned. You need to bind the spirit of the evil spirit in them, this witchcraft in them. If they're leading you to them, you always carrying their briefcase. You always giving them making deposits for them at the bank. You leaving your husband at home. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. The wife leaves the unsaved husband to go to the church to take care of the needs of the pastor. So he's lording over her, and he becomes her pastor, and he tells her, you need to be here at this church. Bible study is going on. Prayer in home and foreign mission is going on. Choir rehearsal is going on. Pastor anniversary is going on. Shut-in is going on. Revival is going on. And you tell these women to leave their husband at home because you got to take care of God first, as if the church is God first, or the church building is God first. And these men and women are going to be judged by God. When you marry somebody, you are one with your husband or wife, whether they're saved or unsaved. Your responsibility is at home. So if your responsibility is at home, the church house is number 2, maybe number 3. Understand? Because your job is number 2. So the church house is number 3. Let's see now. The church house might be number 4. Every time I think about it, the church keep going down, down, down. Why? Because God is not the church building. God is right living here. Right in here. Oh. Yeah. Yes. I see all your inbox messages. I see y'all's inbox messages. People are asking, why you been so controversial for the past couple weeks? Because I'm trying to teach you a lesson that I learned. Y'all are blind in part. The Jews of Romans chapter 9 and 10, God had to teach them a lesson that the fullness of the Gentiles was coming. But they were so caught up into rituals, into temple worship, like y'all are. You're so caught up into temple worship that you're forgetting the weightier matters. Oh boy, I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm sorry. No, I ain't. Why do so many people get this mixed up? Hagley, I don't know. Sherry, I don't understand. I don't understand. How y'all getting this mixed up? Y'all are getting caught up into temple worship. Y'all are caught up in the Old Testament way. You're caught up in laws and rituals. And Jesus said, you know, first of all, y'all got a whole lot of zeal, but it's not according to knowledge and wisdom. Y'all are caught up in these traditions. And so I'm making these posts controversial because I want y'all to see what's around y'all. There's an elephant in the room. Your children are going through the stuff that I'm posting on the wall, and you don't know how to talk to them. You don't. You don't. You don't know how to talk to them. Why? Because you're afraid. You are afraid to talk to your children because they're coming home with different kind of diseases. I'm not talking about medical diseases either. Because sin is sick. It's called, y'all call it sin sick. Okay? But they're bringing home new age problems in your home, and you dismiss it. Yeah, let me pray. Our Father, in the name of Jesus. Then you're done, and then you send them back to their room. You let the TV watch them. Okay? And you don't even know how to talk to them because you're too caught up in temple worship. And Jesus had to go into the temple and beat folks. He didn't beat the world. He beat you. So what am I doing? I want to beat you because I'm bringing up real world situations and y'all are afraid. Neglecting both husband and wife and children for the pastor. Y'all are afraid. So these posts that I'm putting up is real life. And y'all are like, oh, y'all doing this in the house of God? Wait a minute, but aren't you doing it too at your house? Aren't you doing it on your job? Aren't you doing it somewhere in the alley? Ain't you doing it over at your boyfriend's house? What is the difference between doing it over there and then doing it in the house of God? Because the house of God is right here. Y'all want to find the house of God? You're looking at me. Here I am. Y'all looking for the house of God? Anybody out there looking for the house? Here I am. It's right here. Yeah, it's right here. And when I shut this off, go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror. So the problem is you've turned your church building into an old temple of worship where you build a building and threw God in there and locked the door. And that's the only place where y'all can find God. So it's physiological. It is a natural humanistic thing to say, people that sin, sexual sin in the church, oh my God. Why wasn't it that? Oh my God, when you was doing it in your house with a man who didn't belong to you. Why did you not come to that realization? You made that building more of a altruistic, a place of, it's like the difference between the post I put up today. I'm married, and so I go sleep in my mistress' bed, or do I sleep in my wife's bed with my mistress? I put that post up, and I was waiting on the deep folk to come around. And y'all keep falling in the hole with this. Is there a difference between my wife's bed with the mistress or the mistress' bed with the mistress? What's the difference? Is it the bed? Is it the mistress' bed the difference? Is my wife and myself bed the difference? Or is it my body? Wherever my body goes, it's pretty bad if I'm giving it to somebody else. It don't belong to me. But you Christians are caught up into specifics of sins. And the word agape is unconditional. You have conditioned different things and you have become Pharisees. Many of you can do a test and you all will fail the test because you're Pharisees. A look at my, a look at me, church. Yep, run this church without feeding your word and bring. Oh, Elder Smith, you preaching, you preaching. What we doing? Are we still talking about sex? Y'all, I'm telling you, you better cut this out, because here's what's happening. The millennials, they're here. But that generation, what they call the generation G, what they call that generation, that next generation is coming. And they are going to be the worst you have ever seen. Now, God's going to use remnants in that generation. Okay, Generation Z, I think it is. God's going to use remnants in that generation to witness to the world, I believe. But many of them are going to be the worst you have ever seen. Blessings to you, Brooks. And because you're not tapped into real world situations and you dismiss everything, you are going to fail. They are going to rape you across the coals. So when I put up these shocking posts about what I did in the past at a place where it seems like, so when you hear about something, a sexual sin done in the church, y'all go back to the Old Testament and look at how the kings took in unholy relics and they put it in the temple. And these idols, these things were worshipped to idols, and that's what they put in the temple. Y'all treating your churches the same way. You're putting in an idol in our churches. And once Jesus came and died, and noticed that the veil in the temple was rent in half, and now you don't got to have this guy who dressed in all of his regalia go in the Holy of Holies for me. You ain't got to do that no more. God says, I'm ripping this thing. Now, you ain't got to put a rope around this guy and with a bell and send him in there behind the curtains. And then if his life ain't lining up to holiness, I'm going to kill him. All that stuff. You ain't got to do that no more. I rent the veil and now you can go in there for yourself. But where is that yourself place? It ain't in the building anymore. He says, God asked the question. He said, do you really believe that I am dwelling now in these houses now? These buildings made by man's hands? Do you really believe I dwell there? Do you really believe that you need to make me a house? This is what God is asking in the scriptures. He says, I made heavens and earth. Do you believe, do you actually think that I actually need you to make me a house? Y'all still making him a house. Put him in there and says, oh, y'all had sex in the church. And God says, you really think that that's where I dwell? I mean, if you had sex in the Greyhound bus station in the bathroom, it's the same thing. Oh my God, I'm trying to tell you. He said, do you not? I created everything. Why would you think you can house me? What is this? I've been saying this for years and was labeled rebellious. Come on. This is crazy. But we don't want to go in just like the children didn't want to talk to God on the mount. Ain't nothing different. We don't want to go in where? We don't want to go in where, Pitts? I'm not understanding that. I don't understand that. Why do we think that we got to find God on Sunday? Y'all missed out on his blessings all week long. You missed out on the blessings of God all week long because you was waiting on Sunday. Y'all are Catholics. You got to go to the priest for everything. Clean this house from the... Ooh, that's good. Clean this house. Yeah, I just don't understand this. I don't understand this. Y'all have created this church building and put an altar in there. And a so-called altar. You know what the altar is in y'all's churches? A bunch of steps leading to the pulpit. Have y'all ever seen an altar at these new churches? Look at your church. Where is the altar? The altar is usually where the podium is, where the pastor is standing. So it's right there at the foot of the podium. That's y'all's altar. You know what the altar job is? It's for blood sacrifices. That's what the altar was built for. So we built our churches, and then we put in a New Age relic on it called a steeple. It's straight abomination, okay? And then so y'all are creating your churches to look like an old Jewish temple. And then y'all bringing in these furniture like the Old Testament, like the old temples and the old tabernacles. And then y'all creating these putting the Ark of the Covenant and thrones and seats in there. And God's like, what are you doing? What is this? And so then y'all do an altar call and y'all go to the steps of the church and say, this is the holy place. Wait a minute. If you build me a house, whatever room that's in that house is mine, right? Yeah. If you come to my house and you cuss in my living room, it's my house. So you going to go into the bathroom and cuss? And saying, okay, we can't cuss in the living room. Let's go in the bathroom and cuss. Wait a minute. Ain't the bathroom my house? I just don't. Anybody ever think about this? Y'all calling the pulpit area, that's the women can't even wear pants in the pulpit because it's the holy desk. It's the place where God dwells, where all of the word goes forth. So the women are not allowed to wear pants. You can wear pants in the sanctuary where the lay people, but you can't wear pants in the pulpit because it's a holy place. But the pulpit only is an elevated place where people can see you. It ain't no holier than the bathroom. Do you not know that if the church, the building, is God's dwelling place, then the bathroom is just as holy? Y'all are treating your church like an Old Testament temple. I can't understand that. When I'm on the toilet in the men's restroom doing number 2, that's the holy place. Get on my nerves with that mess. We don't want to go. We don't want to go to God, not to build. Oh, Demetri Pitts, thank you for fixing that because I got nervous. Oh, y'all getting on my nerves. And then churches get mad if you touch the altar, bruh Bass. Ooh, man, you better stay in hiding. Stay in hiding. The holy desk gets on my nerve. So y'all are horrible counselors. Horrible, whore to the bowl. Y'all need to call your names whore to the bowl. Y'all are horrible counselors. And y'all don't know how to talk to, you don't know how to talk to the world. The world come to you for help. The drug dealers are coming to you. The drug takers, those who are hooked on this stuff. The prostitutes are coming to you, all right? People who've been molested, people who are sexual, transgenders and homosexuals and all these people are coming to you, and you don't know what to do with them. You can't talk to them. You are afraid. You dismiss them and kick them out of the church. I don't know what to do. I don't know. And then when you find out if one of the preachers done it, you reassign them to another church. You bishops of the Church of God in Christ, you better stop this. God's going to judge the whole church at large when you reassign this pastor or this superintendent to another jurisdiction or district or another church, because you know this man was molested somebody. You try to protect him even in court. You lie to the lawyers to try to get him off, and then you're all right, we got you, brother, but don't do it again. And then you reassign him so that he could do it again. Y'all need to stop this mess. You can't talk to the world because the world thinks that you are nastier than them, because they look at the news. Every time they talk about a church, it's always something about sexual sins. Every time that the news do a thing on the church, it's always something about somebody that molested some girl. Never fails. And what do you do with it? What do you do with it? I would rather the world want to crucify me for Christ's sake, not for molestation's sake. Why is it that every time y'all mess with the homosexual, the world gets involved? News One and CNN and ABC and all these newspapers and Washington Post, they only listen to the Christian when y'all pick on a gay person. They never listen to you when you're preaching the word of God. They never listen to you when you're proclaiming the grace of God. They never mess with you. They never report it. They won't put it in the paper until you pick on the homosexual. They don't care about you because you have no strength. You're caught up in a box. You're a box people. Y'all need to cut your box tops and send it off for a new prize. Y'all, Bozo Circus is on the air every Sunday at around 10 o'clock. Bozo Circus. So y'all done turned this place into the only place where you can find God, and the saints are suffering all week long until Sunday when you walk in there and get your deliverance. Get your deliverance from who? From the same people who were sick. Sick people in there trying to heal sick people. Oh, man. My pastor, Carlos Moody, when I was married, he's told me and my wife, I can't counsel you. Somebody mentioned this earlier. He said, I can't counsel y'all. I'm going to send y'all to somebody who I think can do a better job than what I'm doing or what I can do for y'all. I applauded my pastor for that because he showed humility and meekness and honesty. He said, this is above my pay grade. I can counsel this couple. I can counsel that couple, but I can't counsel y'all. He said, because I know you, Elder Jones. I know you. We've been through this before. And so I'm going to need to upgrade by sending you somewhere who could probably help you better than what I can, because you may not be able to either hear me or I may not be able to help you. You understand? Maybe I'm not understanding your plan. So he sent me and my wife to a counselor, a Christian counselor downtown Chicago who had an office with degrees on the wall and everything. I celebrated my pastor for that. And that's why I ain't left him yet, because I believe that he's a real man of God. He understood it. He's a great counselor. And the greatest counselors are the ones who send you to somebody else when they realize I've taken you only so far. Your doctor do the same thing. Your medical doctor, your general practitioner, your OBGY, whatever the names are, they know. They say, listen, this disease right here, I can't help you with that. I studied it in the school. I heard about it. I researched it. But there's a person across town who is an expert at this. So here, I'm going to write up this referral. Here. Now, it may cost you a little bit more. Maybe it's covered under your PPO, okay? But here, take this and call them and get an appointment to an expert, because this is above my pay grade. Why can't you Christians do the same thing? I can't understand that. Huh? Hello? Anybody out there? Why can't y'all realize, oh, I can't, this is above me. And let me take it over to the brother. Let me take over. I married a couple. I married a couple. I'm a single man. And this couple asked me to marry them recently. And I counseled them and I married them. Now, guess what I did after this? Says, we're going to need some more counseling through our marriage. And then you know what I said? I said, I prefer not to counsel you during your marriage. See, I could counsel you while y'all was single. I prefer not to counsel you while you're married. Why? Because I'm not married right now. I was married. I could tell you the stuff that I messed up and the things that I did okay, but I could have done better. I could give you all kinds of scenarios, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn you over to my brother who's been married to one woman for 30 years. They said, huh? Why? Because he been married for 30 years. He done synced it all. And I'm going to send y'all over to him. Now, I married you. My job is done. I'm going to send you to my brother who can help y'all a little further. You see, Apollos was a mighty man in Scripture, and he knew a whole lot about the Bible. But Paul says, okay, you're doing good, but Aquila and Priscilla can show you a more perfect way in the Lord. Go over there and spend some time with them, and you're going to really be mighty. Why can't we designate and call out our friends of the gospel, okay? These people who are great at what they do. I'm not going to go to McDonald's for no freaking ribs. Talk about some McRib. Man, I've been into that McRib, and I think I must have puked for 6 hours straight. I looked at that McRib and said, what the heck is this? Why are you selling ribs? Y'all became famous by giving us burgers and fries and a shake. Y'all are a burger joint while you giving us this ribs. I want to go there to McHenry rib joints and Emporium. They make the great ribs. And they even told us, I went there for a burger. They said, we don't do burgers. How you going to insult us? We make ribs. Why would you come in here and order them burgers? Get out of my establishment. How dare you insult you have the mitigated garb to ask me for some freaking burgers when we make ribs. It's called a rib joint. It's on the sign. So McDonald's talking about some McRibs, and they only release it once a year because there's too many people dying. So they only release the ribs once a year for the same reason that movie came out called The Purge. The Purge was a way to get population control. So the government called McDonald's and say, all right, it's too many people on the earth. It's time to release that freaking McRib. Okay, we got you. And they release it for a few weeks, and all these people die. And they said, okay, well, that's enough. Enough of them died. All right, so why can't we understand that it's time to pick up the phone and say, listen, I got a problem. What? This person who came to me for counseling, I don't know nothing about that. Y'all always trying to fix everybody's problem. You can't fix, Pastor, you can't fix everybody's problem. You can't fix every problem that arises in your church. Call somebody. You better call Tyrone, but you can't use my phone. Okay? Call somebody, man. Bring somebody in the church who's capable of helping the saints with their finances. Don't just teach on tithing, the 10%, and you never teach on the 90%. I'm messed up. I'm messed up. I'm messed up. That's my new hit. I'm messed up. Can I say this again, y'all? Why y'all teaching on finances in your church, but you never teach on what to do with what's left? Y'all keep making poor people pay you all this money, and they go home even more poor. Don't you think if you would teach them how to become more self-sustained, or more well-off, that they would pay a little bit more to the church for the outreach of the church? Don't you think if you would just not give people fish, but teach them how to fish, then now you could have free fish fries at the church? Huh? If you keep making compulsory and make people and curse them and damn them for not doing a particular act, if you tell them only what to do with the 10% only, then they leave there and they pillage the 90. They buried the 90. You just giving talents to that third person who buried it. That's what y'all do when you make people pay tithes. You never tell them what to do with the 90%. You never do. So why can't you bring in a financial advisor? Bring in a person who's good in investing. Bring in somebody who understands what to do with life insurance and how and 501. Not 501. These 529 plans, okay? Money markets and certificates of deposits and all this. Why can't you teach them 90% that's left? We come in here Tuesday. We're going to show you how to multiply the 90%. Thank you for our 10, but come back Tuesday and we're going to bring in an expert, a Dave Ramsey type, to teach you what to do with 90% that's left. And when you start seeing it multiply, everybody going to be building mega churches after that. You wouldn't have to worry about begging people for second offerings and third offerings and fourth offerings. You wouldn't have to do that because you have helped the people with the 90% that's left. Oh, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, Abraham took 10% of the spoils of war, and what did he do? He gave it to Melchizedek because that was a precarnate of a theophany of Jesus Christ. We get that, but what did Abraham do with the 90% that was left? You know what he did? He gave that away. He gave it away. He gave it away. He gave it to a pagan king, the king of Sodom. Gave it away. So y'all are teaching people how to tithe under Abraham, but you ain't teaching them to give the 90% away, are you? Nope. You only talk about Abraham's 10. You never talk about Abraham's 90. You never talk about Abraham's 90, do you? You're afraid. Because if they give away Abraham's 90, they can't give you 10. From nothing, leave nothing. So stop teaching on how to tithe by Abraham's standards, because if you're going to teach one way, teach it all. So stop teaching it that way. Let them give the 10 if you believe in tithing, and then have a meeting with the 90. Say, here's what you do. Here's 10 things you can do with the 90% that's left, so that in 2 weeks from now, it will multiply. You don't do that, do you? Why? Because you don't know how to counsel folk. You Christians are horrible. You're weak. You're weak. You don't know how to counsel the people into health and wealth management. All right? How you going to be 300, 400, 500 pounds and you can't even preach? You're sitting up there preaching on health. And you 500 pounds, you can't even stand up to preach. You sitting down on a chair in the pulpit because you're too fat to stand. Your legs about that thick, okay? And you preaching about proper health. That's what y'all doing. You the same way when you preaching about finance and trying to teach the people how to sow a seed in your ministry, and God is going to pour out a blessing and open up windows, and he gives the seed to the soil, and I know the plans I have for you, and then all these things, and then you got to hide your car, Pastor, in the back or in your garage, what have you, because the repo man is coming after your car, man. How you gonna teach me about financial wealth and sustaining myself, and you're suffering yourself? You got red letters coming to the house. That's from the gas company. Another red one coming from the light company, and you teaching them about financial security and the 10%. And you don't even know what to do with your 90%. And you bring Dick and Bobo up there to do a tithing sermon. Elder Bobo here, they're both Bobo brothers, and the teacher on tithing every Sunday, and they both are struggling in their finances, man. Why, Jesus, why? So you're just as guilty as that 500-pound man or woman he got to sit down because he can't stand up long enough. He got to talk like that, and he ain't hooping. That's just the way he talk, because his legs about to give out. And y'all got to eat right. Okay? It gets on my nerves. Y'all are weak. How much is that fool in the window? You're the candy man. You're weak. I'm going to stop going to y'all's churches because I'm not getting nothing. Why sit ye here and die? Y'all are dying. You're making no money. You're giving it all away to the church. You're giving all of it away you got just enough to pay your bills. And that's it. You got no more money left for outreach. Dave Ramsey, I just saw the Dave Ramsey show Barbara Taylor, when he says, why are y'all teaching pastors, why are y'all teaching the people, poor people, to tithe, and you don't teach them what to do with the 90? I've been saying that for years. This is Dave Ramsey, a wealthy man. Why are y'all teaching tithing to poor people, but you never teach them what to do with the 90? Weak. You're weak. You're weak. And you bet not go into 2019 suffering and struggling after what I just told you. You bet not. So I'm going to keep posting on my wall about some crazy stuff. I'm going to keep telling my story. I'm going to keep talking about my sins towards humanity so that you can wake up. 5 of y'all going to read it. 2 of y'all going to say, oh, I get it now. I get it now. He was in all of these sins, and he's telling us his story so that we could get it right. So that we could finally waketh thou uppeth, that this is happening in my house too. Your 15-year-old daughter is somewhere having sex with a guy like me who was 15, 16, 17, or a guy like me who's 50-something years old. I'm having sex with your 16-year-old. Yeah, and she don't know what to do. I done put the fear in her. She can't tell you. So I put my former sins up there so that you could wake us up and realize that ain't nothing new under the sun. What I did those years ago, they doing right now, right up under you. There's a group where I put this stuff on. Well, anyway, I don't know if I should tell this story. I'm telling you, some of y'all are so blind. You're blind like the Jews. You're blind, okay? And God's gonna eventually make you that tree where he gonna have to graft somebody into you. Some of y'all didn't get that. God gonna have to graft somebody into you because you just like Romans 9 and 10. Hey, how about a one-day counseling session for folks who are getting married? I'm not divorced. Yeah, Elder Smith, come on. Just give them, the people are giving tithes, they're giving offerings, so why not you give them some free stuff? Why can't you hire somebody to come in? You know that zip line preacher, the preacher who was coming in the church last week on that zip line in his church? Do you not know that that thing costs about $100,000 to install? Do you realize how much money $100,000 that is? And can you not realize what $100,000 could have done for some of the members at that church? Now, I know he didn't build that zip line just for that one sermon. I know he didn't. That church probably do like little plays and what have you. They use it for other stuff. I'm sure they do. Because you go to their website, you'll see an angel coming in on that zip line. All right. So it's just left there for whatever you want to do for the rest of the year. You see what I'm saying? That's $100,000. Ask me how I know. I priced that thing. That thing is $100,000 to install. All right. Can you imagine what $100,000 could have done instead of using it for circus acts? Oh, give me singing again. You're blind. You can't see. You need to wear. Elder Smith, whoever you are, I'm liking you. Leaders should be teaching generational wealth. Barbara Rainford, I can't get it. I put up a post, generational wealth for African Americans. I started that post a couple years ago. Facebook, go to Facebook, generational wealth for African Americans. And we're talking about how to build up things, from your credit report to what to do with your 401ks, to how to start a business. I mean, I've been giving out all kind of free information, free stuff to help you come out of this poor mentality. Y'all got slave mentality. It's getting on my nerve, okay? And y'all are ignoring all of the free stuff we're giving to you. You're ignoring it. You're ignoring it because you don't care. The church, how is it that you allow your pastor to be your financial advisor? He's everything to you. He's your medical doctor, your financial advisor. He's your credit reported analogist. He's everything to you, your pastor. How is that possible? How is that possible that he is giving you all this advice and y'all are dying and don't even know it? You're lost. You are the lost sheep of America. Oh, the video was nothing but entertainment. I know, co-pastor, it was nothing but entertainment. Y'all are going to die in your mess. You bet not let 2019 end when you in the same financial state that you're in now. You bet not. If you do, something's wrong with you. You retarded. I know that's not politically correct, but I got to use it because that's the best, because it's going to hit your heart. You retarded. If you listen to this and you're seeing all this advice and you all this free advice on YouTube, okay, and these Udemy courses and Skillsoft and all, I mean, there's free advice every which way. Everybody's doing a webinar on free. This free. You don't even got to buy that course, because a lot of times the webinar itself gives you enough free stuff to get you started, and you ignore all of it. And December 2019, depending on what time you're watching this, you are going to be in the same financial situation that you was 2018 in December. You crazy. You retarded. You are in a cognitive decline. Or you just have not been fully developed. Pastors are preaching that they are the way, the truth, and the life. Vonzel, ooh, stop. But you're right. Spiritual disabled. You need to be... Pitts, I'm sorry. So you spiritually disabled. You're retarded. Oh, well, that preach. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. It's crazy. Crazy. I got 7 books to write in 2019. I haven't even finished writing the first one that's going to be released in February. I got 1 more chapter to finish up. 1 more to finish up. And then I'm going to do pre-sales in another couple weeks. All right? So get ready for that. The 4 Women That Men Desire is the name of my book. All right? And it's going to be released on Valentine's Day. But let me tell you something. I've been planning for that book for years. I just didn't know it. The Lord dropped it in my spirit this year. Now you're ready. You see, I've been wanting to write a book for 25 years. I got books over here in my library. I got so many books I can't count. I've been wanting to write a book, so I bought a whole lot of books on how to write a book and never wrote one. Never wrote not one, nothing. And I got it. I realized why I could not write a book, because I wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. Because God was making sure that I had equipped. That I was equipped enough. So when it was time, God would say, all right, it's time now. So I could not have written this book even this year, released it. I couldn't, because there was so much more in my life that needed to be done. So in the fullness of time, which is now, God says, all right, son, it's time. I think you've had enough. Ready, go. I started writing like a crazy man. Writing like my hands, I started getting carpal tunnel because I was writing like a fool. I'm like, why is this pouring out of me? Why? What's going on? Woo, Jesus, I'm all over the place. I had pens was flying all over the office. Woo, Jesus, what's going on? Help me, Lord, help me, Lord. Why? Because it was time. And when God said it was time, all this stuff was flowing out of me. All of the ideas, all of the examples through life. A lot of the things that I've been teaching, I didn't know I was teaching. People was coming to me and thanking me for my advice, and all that stuff was flowing out. Even the bad experiences, even the nasty things I've done, all that stuff. God says, I'm going to use that bad and turn it into good. You're going to tell your story. So here it is. Book's getting ready to be released. Then he says, you got more to write, though. Don't think that's just one book. I'm giving you 7 books. And so by 2019 December, I got to have 7 books written. Why? God said you got to write it, and I'm going to write it. But watch this. By the end of the year, though, trust me, the little dollars I'm making now, it's going to multiply. Why? Because I got a plan. Because I'm taking all the advice that I gave others, and I'm using it for myself. Why y'all giving advice and you not living up to the same advice you're giving out? You can't take it. Y'all dishing out all of this advice, but you can't even live the same advice you're dishing. You retarded. I don't want to hear it from. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear it. Right? So if you're in the same financial situation next year, this time, you retarded. You want to be. You want to be poor. Not this brother here. Oh, no. Is he looking at me? Is he? He is looking at me. Hey, I'm doing a Facebook Live. Y'all retarded. I don't care. I don't care what y'all saying. Put the thumbs down, YouTube. I don't care. I don't care. I'm trying to help the people. So be looking out for more of my crazy Facebook posts. Keep looking out for them. Keep looking out. It's going to be some. Y'all think that these last couple of days was crazy and controversial? Oh, there's more coming. And I'm weeding out you people who are too deep to see that this brother right here, he getting ready to rape your son. You can't see it? You can't see that he getting ready to rape your son? He's grooming your son. He's being groomed. You can't tell that the language that he's using is grooming this boy? You can't see it? That boy from Different Strokes, Todd, is it Todd Bridges? Is that his name? He talked about his manager was grooming Todd's father. The manager was grooming Todd's father. The manager. While he was grooming Todd. And as weeks, so you gotta understand, a pimp is patient. If you don't remember nothing on this show, always remember these words from Sirwalterj. A pimp is patient. You hear me? A child molester is patient. A player is patient. Satan is patient. They have more patience than you do. Some of y'all right away, as soon as I touch this, y'all, you go off on me. I say one word, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. No, you impatient. But a pimp is patient. So this pimp manager was grooming Todd for months. And at the same time, grooming his father. Oh, Eunice, I know they're going to tear my license. What happened? And then the man started molesting Todd. Started molesting him. And then Todd thought that that was natural for two men to sleep together. And then one day, the girl, Dana, is that her name? The girl on the show started touching Todd. And they started having sex. Dana Plato, I think that's her name. And Todd said, this feels different. This don't feel like what the manager is doing to me. And it startled him. Yeah, Dana Plato, thank you, Elder Jones. All right, it startled him. And then he got it. So he at home with his mother and his father, and the manager comes in, knocks or rings the bell, come in the house, and he gets startled. Todd gets startled. He sees the manager. The mother looks at Todd in the face, and she knew right away what happened. Ladies, y'all are so powerful. That intuition is amazing. But watch this. The father missed all of that. Missed it all. So the mother leaped at the manager. How dare you do this to my son? The Todd didn't say nothing. He just got startled. And the mother leaped because the mother knew. The father pulled the mother off of this manager. Hey, what you doing? He molested my son. Todd says, yes, he did. And the father says, no, he didn't. He would never do anything like that. And know what Todd's reply was? Todd says, that's exactly the words that the manager told me that you would say. Why? Because pimps are patient. The manager was grooming both Todd and the father. He had groomed the father to protect him so that he can molest that boy. Oh, come on, Janine. She says, we are lioness when it comes to our cubs. Woo. His body language said it all. Mom knew her child. The father did not know. See, I'm in tune with my daughter and my son. So I got some of that lion and lioness. I know. Why I know? Why I know? I'm trying to tell you, because I used to be the patient pimp. You see? I was the one. How is it possible that y'all used to be out there in the world and now y'all saved, y'all forgot how worldly people act? I just can't understand that. How is it possible that y'all saints been out there in the world all that time, now you saved and you don't remember how the world act? He didn't say forget the acts of how they are. He just says don't return back to the act. He didn't say forget this, how they operate. That's a trick of the devil right there. So y'all are like, I forgive and forget. I'm not sure where there in Scripture where it tells me that I always have to forget everybody's transgression against me, because in many cases, if you forget, they're going to do it again. Oh, this ain't popular teacher for many of you. A woman's instinct is not to be underestimated. Y'all understand what I'm saying? If y'all keep acting so saved that you forget what the world's done to you, they're going to do it to you again. So the Apostle Paul he says, put on the whole armor of God. And he says, oh, right here, don't forget. He says, pay attention to the wiles of the devil. The wiles, W-I-L-E. Why would Paul says, pay attention to the tricks of the devil? Because such was some of you. Y'all used to be that. He said, but now you're washed. You've been made whole. You're clean. Now you over here. He says, but keep looking at the tricks of the devil. So put on this armor, and that's going to keep you from this mess. That's what Paul says. Y'all said, I'm going to forget and forgive all of it. I don't want to remember none of it. The only one who said that he can't remember is God. He says, I'm going to take your sin and toss it in a sea. He said, I will not remember it anymore. That's God's job. Y'all are trying to be like God. He never told you and commissioned you to do that. No, he says, I make those things that be not as though they were. Poof. God says, there's nothing under my hat, nothing under my sleeves. Poof, here it is. I did that thing. Wow, I didn't see it, and here it is. Yes, I did that. He says, I didn't tell you to do that. You people who are this speak and proclaim and all this stuff, God says, I didn't ever tell you to do that. You ain't got that kind of power. What are you talking about? Just speak stuff out. All this word of faith stuff, just speak it, and there it is. Really? If you got that kind of power to speak something into existence, why ain't you speaking obedience into existence? Why ain't you speaking your worship into existence? Daily reading the scriptures into existence, huh? Why ain't you speaking your finances better into? Why ain't you speaking you getting up your lazy butt up and go getting a job, filling out a job application as you lazy hobosexual man and at home letting some woman take care of you? Why ain't you speaking that into existence? And why all these people are sick and you ain't speaking healing into existence and they still dying? Why ain't you speaking this stuff into existence? You so holy. Why? Because you put God and relegated him to a church building only on Sunday. And then in that church, y'all use church language. It is a place where people speak different languages. That's it. When you leave that building, y'all speak like everybody else in the world. You talk like you do the same thing everybody else in the world. You just blah, 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 blah. And then Sunday, you'll go back into that place. It is an occult in many cases. Y'all have created an occult atmosphere where you only speak a certain way on Sunday between the hours of 11 and about 2 o'clock. Monday through Saturday, you don't speak that way. You don't talk that way. Not on your job, not in the marketplace, not in the bank, not even in the courthouse. You don't talk that way. You only talk that way on Sunday. That's it. That's it. You decree and declare. That's it on Sunday. You throw all that money in the pan only on Sunday. You're laying hands on the sick only on Sunday. Speaking in tongues and falling out and hooping. That's it. Sunday. It's all it is. It's a show. And God watches you Monday through Saturday and says, wait a minute. These the same people who was doing all this on Sunday, and here Monday through Saturday, they're not doing none of this. They don't do. It's a Sunday language, Pitt says. They're not doing none of this. They're not going to reach the poor. They're not talking to poor people. They're not going to the homeless shelter. They're not going to the orphanages. They're not even donating money to Jude Hospital. Okay, they're not going to the infirm. They're not doing none of this. None of the prophets, none of the apostles are going to the hospitals and raising people, the sick people, and just laying hands on strange people, and they getting out of the hospital beds. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's going to the cemeteries and raising folk out of the grave. No, nobody's doing none of this stuff. But on Sunday, people say, y'all say, bring your sick, bring your lame, bring your hard, all these people, and they come in there with the wheelchairs and the crutches, and somebody blow on you, and you fall out, and then you throw your crutch and run around the room. That only happens on Sunday. You never see it Monday through Saturday. Nobody going to the hospital and do that. Nobody. You just don't do it. How is that possible that you got such a great heart on Sunday and Monday through Saturday, nothing? So God is like, how you gonna speak those things that be not as though they, how you gonna do that when you ain't even talked to me until Sunday, and you put me in a building and lock the door, and you only go there like I'm a rape victim? That's what happens. These little girls, somebody is locked in the basement right now. They're chained in a dark room right now. Some man got them down there, and they go down there to have sex with these women, and they get pregnant, and he kicked their bellies so that the baby would die. And he keep them chained down there and only give them a little food here and there, and they don't have the body was created to breathe and for space, okay, and air and oxygen, what have you. And there's some women right now in America that's locked in the basement, chained like a dog, and this man come down there to get his sexual desires on, and then he's done. That's what y'all did with God. You put him in a church building, or building at least what you call the church, and you locked him in there, and you're only going there to do the same thing that this dude is doing. He getting his rocks off, and that's what y'all do on Sunday. You're getting your rocks off at church to God. And all the rest of the week is like nothing's happening. So the people don't know that those girls are in the basement, and nor does the world know that God lives in you. You chained them up so they can't see God in you, but you only go to him when you have a desire. I done messed up. I'm messed up. I messed up. What you say? I hear crickets. Y'all know I talk about this all the time. People have put my life in danger. They have threatened to kill me. They go to YouTube. They've threatened to kill me because I talk this way. And I ain't talking about worldly people. I'm talking about people who got licenses. They've threatened my life. And if they don't threaten me physically, they'll say, God getting ready to kill you. You better stop this teaching. You better stop talking like this because you messing with my money. That's what they tell me. You're messing with my circus. So I have people who intercede around the country for me. They pray for me. They pray for me because they know, man, I don't know how you do this, why you do this, but I'm glad somebody's doing it. And they'll tell me, these elders and pastors will say, I can't do this. I can't preach like you do. I can't talk. Matter of fact, they forbid me from their pulpits because they think that I'm going to go in their pulpits and talk like this. I don't go in y'all's houses and talk like this. No, I'm a gentleman in y'all's pulpits. But oh, don't release me to the wild. And right now I'm in the wild. Preacher going wild. I've got to watch the replay so I won't have to stab you in the neck and then pray you back to life. Patricia Shaw, I miss you, girl. Kiss that man for me, will you please? Yeah, so I get threats. I get threats a lot, and I don't care. For Christ I live, and for Christ I will die. Yeah, I've seen the mountaintop. I may not get there with you. Me, Moses, and MLK, we're looking down at y'all, saying, God, one day you're going to judge us. You're going to judge the world. You're going to judge it. Meanwhile, we up there having tea and crumpets and watching it all play out. And we don't forget. We allow the power of God to elevate us to a place that we are impacted by the offense. And so we now possess the strength. Ooh, Barbara Taylor, you talk about women, ain't you? And that's good stuff there. I like that. Your mess up helps us to get a step up and the challenge to do better. Ooh, Aura, that's good. Yeah, my mess up. I'm hoping, though. I'm hoping. My husband teaches the same way. He was licensed and coach. What? Co-pastor George? Ooh, yo, I got to meet your husband. That's a good man. Use that whip on the religion. Now you see why Jesus had to go into the temple to beat the money changers. So if Jesus was here in the flesh right now, he would do the same in y'all's churches. Same thing. He would go up in there and do some beating. He'd go in there and do some whipping, and I'd be right there with him, handing him the whip. Here's Jesus. Here's a stronger whip. Get the whipping, Jesus. Get the whipping. Okay? Because why? Because he whipped me. He whipped me the same day. He gonna whip y'all. Understand that? He whoops me. So, because he whoops me, I'm whooping y'all. I'm not perfect. Ain't nowhere near it. So I tell y'all of my flaws and my weaknesses and pains so that you can see yours and stop hiding behind some invisible veil. Somebody lying to you and you lying to yourself. So you're living in a world of lies and deception. And these men and women who are over you, they're lying to you but making themselves, they're self-righteous as if they were born saved and stayed saved for 50 years. They can't tell their story because they're afraid and fearful of what you're going to look at them. How are you going to look at them? If Bill Clinton had just said, I did have sexual relations with that woman, Monica, if he had told us the first time, we would have forgiven him. But he says, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And when he said that, the discerning spirit around the country, a lot of them, they knew, they said, oh no, we got to impeach this fool. Because a lot of folk knew he was lying. They knew it. And then it finally came forth that he was lying. And he says, you know what, maybe I did have something that I might have done. If he had just been transparent and honest with the country would have forgiven him right then and there. Because he's not the moral majority. The President of the United States is not really a moral position. It's not really. Some of y'all are going to disagree with me. He's got to appear moral, but it's not really a moral position. It ain't. For those of you who go down there to the Church of God in Christ convention, the convention is not about your spiritual connection to God. I'm about to piss off many of you who are Kojic. When you go down there in November to the Kojic convention, you go down there looking for a spiritual renewal, you in the wrong place. The conventions are set up so that the monies and the business are taken care of the church, and you just so happen to bring your religious demeanor with you. So, of course, wherever religious people go, they're going to be religious. And so you're going to sing, and you're going to hear good preaching and all that. But you should have got the word of God at home. At your local church. You should have got the word of God at home where you pay your bills. You see? So the convention is not where you go to find God. You supposed to bring God with you when you went there. So you went there looking for God. I'm sorry to tell you, Kojic folks and you apostolic folks, I'm trying to tell you, you're going down there for the wrong reason. It's set up so that you can raise money and they can look at your books, and you just happen to be, you might get a little teaching here and there, but that ain't why y'all down there. Y'all done made the convention Mecca. That's what y'all did. You made it Mecca. I get it. I understand it. But no, that ain't Azusa. See, Azusa Street was something else. They went looking for God at Azusa Street. But the Kojic convention and the Baptist or Apostolic convention, that ain't Azusa. No, that's politics and that's finance. And who's going to make a whole lot of money at that convention? The hotels, the venue, and the coffers' pockets. And you get a chance to keep your license. Because mine got ripped up a few times. So you think I'm pandering to people? Not with this message, I ain't. No, I don't believe in pandering to people. I don't care. I don't care. When my children are wrong, I tell them they're wrong. When my own father and mother's wrong, I tell them they are wrong. But I do not talk to my elders too sharply. I don't believe in that. So I make general terms here because I ain't called out nobody's name on here. I don't believe in doing that sharply. The scriptures tell me not to do that. But when somebody's incorrect, I'm going to tell them because I want you to tell me when I'm wrong. My pastor rebuked me a few times down through the years, and I thank him today. My father rebuked me for many years, and I thank him today. I thank the people who rebuke me because now I have a right to rebuke you. I've been through the rebuking. I sat on that seat, the hot seat. I've been silenced. They said, you can't operate. You can't minister in this church until we tell you to. And I had to sit there and do nothing. You don't know how that feels when you got the anointing in you, but you can't operate under the anointing because you did a detestable act. So you got to sit there. And I approve of this message still today. You may not. I don't care. Some people care more about how they look in other people's eyes rather than the only one that matters. Janine, Joe, you better stop this. They're coming after you for that. They're coming after you. I bet you they won't put you on the convention platform. Eunice, they will never put me in anything called convention. They don't trust me. They don't trust me. They may ban me from the convention by talking like this. They'll ban me. I don't care. I don't care. You're the candy man. It has been reported to me. Yeah, go ahead and ban me. I don't care. Oh man, I think I done done enough damage. If I don't go now, I'll keep going and upset you even more. Hit the share button, the 25 of you that are left. Hit the share button, and if you're on YouTube, go ahead and hit the bell. Bing! Get that subscriber, that reminder, and all that stuff. And, you know, share it or don't share it, because I'm going to be crucified tonight about midnight. Don said, protect the collar. And Don, I only wear that collar once a month when I'm among the brethren. But even when I have it on among the brethren, I hate it. I hate somebody say, why you do it? Because God didn't tell me to stop yet, because I'm talking to the elders. Why? See, here's the thing. It's called jurisdiction and jurisprudence. Y'all know what those words means? That's it. See, here's the thing. You can tell me to walk away from something. That's a cop-out too. See, I'm involved in some things so that I can teach, so that I can show here and show my life here and talk to this person. See, but if I wasn't a part of the organization, wherever it is, I can't talk to them. They won't let me in. You see what I'm saying? Jesus went in the streets and he was talking to people who were deplorables. The disciples say, hey, why would you be talking to this woman at the well? She's a Samaritan. You have no right to be. That's what they said. So when she saw them talking like that, she left. Y'all read the story again. Jesus had a moment with the Samaritan. He was forbidden to talk to him. She even said, you're forbidden to talk to me. And he told her everything about her. And then the disciples came and saw and got angry and says, are you talking to? And then she left. And then when she went away, she started saying, go, come and see a man who's told me everything about myself. See, so people tell me, don't be around these people. Why would you even wear the collar and the robe? Why you be part of it? Well, he didn't tell me to leave yet. You left. He told you to leave. You can't handle the pressure. Get out the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen so to help you. So while I'm in that kitchen, I'm getting all the insight stuff, all right? And then I'm talking to some of the others who got the same collar on. You see, a drug dealer or taker, a person who's strung out on drugs, can't listen to you. They won't listen to you because you don't understand. You've never been on drugs. So some drug people will say, I told y'all my story. The homeless shelter told me to have a meeting with all of the people who were strung out on this stuff and just sit at the whiteboard and teach the lesson, because people need to know, about your struggle. I said, okay, yeah, I can do this. And they said, hey, how long have you been on drugs? I'm like, I've never touched the stuff. What about alcohol? Every now and then I'll have a drink here, a social drink there. A lot of times I do that for health reasons, but they says, well, you can't teach at that whiteboard. You can't. I said, why? I got struggles too. And no, you ain't got that struggle. These men gonna run you out of town. And they gonna run us out of town too. How you gonna bring this dude up in here? He ain't never touched drugs. He don't know what a crack is. He think a crack is something that you see where the sun don't shine. Okay? He don't know what that is. He don't know what Boone's Farm is. Old Granddad. He don't know what Hennessy is. He don't know what cognac is. He don't know what all that stuff is. So why would you bring him in here to embarrass him and embarrass us? So that's what's happening in the church. Y'all are weak. You can't talk to nobody. You don't understand. You just don't understand. So know your limitations. Know your boundaries. Get somebody who can help you in this situation. So these churches now, thank God, are having these reparative measures, okay? They're bringing in people who can counsel. They have church for those who are alcoholics, former alcoholics. Some of these churches have service for alcoholics. Yes, I'm talking about church service where there's the main service going on upstairs, and those who are kind of strung out, they have a service in the other room for them. I'm like, look at God. Y'all can't do nothing like that. Everybody got to be in the same room together, and God can work in this same room. Yeah, he can. But why is it that y'all are still suffering and struggling and falling out in the same room with the same God? What's going on? Because you don't understand. People listen at different levels, because you're afraid to study psychology because you think that is of the devil. You think that studying psychology is forbidden. It's taboo. So you dismiss it. You got cognitive dissonance. That's what you have. And you don't want to bring this in the church. But my body aches. So you can talk to me about my body ache, and you pour oil on me for my body. My eye ache, my head ache, my teeth ache, and all this stuff. I got these diseases, and you can take care of that. God is a God. But when I have a mental issue, we don't want to talk about that. And I believe there's so much mental illness in our churches. The mental hospitals is the #1 place where mental patients are. The second place is the jails. The penitentiaries is where most of the people outside of the mental hospitals are. They're in the jails. The third place, I believe, in my heart of hearts, where the most mentally ill people are, the third place in the whole wide country is the church. You see it. Y'all can't see it because you ain't tapped in. But this brother right here acting a fool, Mother May I, who sits on the mother's board with all white and what have you, the meanest mother there is, that chick got a mental illness. She do. But you cannot proclaim it. Bishop C.H. Mason of the Church of God in Christ would pray for his mind. He said, God, help me to cast the devil out of my mind, because he realized that is the seat of distraction. That right there is the center point that controls everything. Everything starts in the mind. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ. So right there, but why ain't you praying for people's mind? You pray for everything physiological, but you can't pray for the mind because it's dismissive. You're afraid. You don't want to talk about it. So I suggest y'all start studying psychology. You might find out more about Mother May I by studying a book than you would by just pouring oil on her and say, come out, devil. Ah, come out, devil. He's shining in my mouth. Come out, devil. And the devil's like, wait a minute, but I'm over here in Brother Bobby. I'm over here. Hello? I'm over here in Brother Bobby. I'm not in Mother May I. I'm over here. Well, never mind. Let me just rape everybody. And Mother May I like, wait, what? I ain't got no devil. I've got there's a neurological dysfunction going on here. It might have been something they ate. It might have been passed through the birthing canal. There could be some kind of disease happening. There could be some kind of chemical imbalance. It could be a traumatic thing that happened to them when they were younger. It could be anything. Come out, devil! Ah, as you possessed with some demon. The demon over here molesting your daughter. And you're trying to cast out a demon here, and it could be just something as simple as letting them sit down and talk to a psychologist and say, hey, no, here's the problem. Here's why you do. This happened at the age of 15. Oh, yeah, I forgot about it. Yeah, see, here's what's happening. Here's what you need to do. I'm going to lay these things out on the table. You pick one, you see? I'm not going to tell you what to do. You pick one. Which one here? Which one you thinking? And then before you know it, they're getting better and better. Well, a person can't talk a devil out. And medicine don't cast demons out. You know? Medicine don't quell demons. A demon will operate the way it want to operate, whether there's medicine there or nothing, all right? Okay? So y'all are saying that everything got a demon, and that's why y'all can't counsel nobody. I got to go. I done pissed off the congregation here, I'm sorry or I'm not. Hit the share button or not. Pray my strength in the Lord, because I'm going to keep talking like this to somebody. Get it right. Helmet of salvation to protect the brain and manage mental issues. Come on, Lisa Johnson. You just said the last word of the night. Helmet of salvation said to protect the brain and manage mental issues. That's the word of the day. And like they do on the street, I'm going to pour for that one. And I'm going to pour one out for Uncle Bobo. He was a rascal. That's one for the dead man. I love y'all. I see you tomorrow. Sirwalterj Show. Bye-bye.